Well, hello and welcome to another V's Cards video. My name is Veronika Cuic and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a 20-second zip card. We'll also look at a stepped-up version, a more complicated card as well, all under 8 minutes. Let's get straight into the 20-second zip card. ZIP stands for stamp, ink and paper. It is the basics of all cards. I'm tapping quickly on the ink and then straight onto the paper. I'm adding little bits and pieces to build a bee, plus a sentiment, and then I'm going to do one piece of colouring in, which is a bit of an add-on. You can leave it at 16 seconds and keep it black and white, or just add one other colour to give you a 20-second card that you could easily do in multiples. So if you're in a hurry or you're mass producing, a zip card is the way to go. To set myself up for success, I already had mounted all my stamps onto a block each. To come up with the layout, I actually copied a more complicated card and simplified it. Now let's take this simple design and step it up. So here's an example of a stepped up version of the simple 20-second card. So this is actually my card number 2, but I'm going to step it up even further by popping up the bee, and that's the card I'm going to show you how to craft today. Product list will be found in a link in the description below. I'm making my own DSP by stamping tone on tone around the edge of the card front. There is no need for me to stamp on the inside part of that card front simply because it's going to be covered in a basic white cardstock. The extra popped up layer. I'm really not taking too much care on stamping the hearts. I am rotating it around so that they are facing different direction and making it look as though there's movement in the card. But I'm not too fussed if it's not perfectly stamped because it is not the focus of the card. The great thing about this stamp set is that it's photopolymer, which means it's see-through, and I'm able to easily position layers as I please so that parts can blend in nicely together to build a scene. You can make a card as simple or as complicated as you like. You can add or subtract little parts of it. For instance, in the stamp set, there are 2 different types of flowers. You can omit the second flower and just stick to one flower type. You can also add a different colour or tone, or just keep it simple with one colour of flower. So that's totally up to you, how far you want to go, how much time you want to spend on a card. Also, you get to decide how much product you want in the card as well. So I'm going to add more complexity to this card by first stamping and then punching out the bee, as well as popping them up with dimensionals. I'm guilty of being a bit exclusive about my facial expression for my bee. There are actually 4 face expressions to choose from, and I'll show you that in the next screen. Since I have my punch out, I'm going to also stamp the wings and then punch them out. But before I punch them, I'm going to pull out my glitter shoebox and I'm going to spray some Wink of Stella onto the wings. It's a good idea to allow for the alcohol to dry before you punch the wings so that the fibres harden up again. What I mean by that, any moisture in cardstock will automatically soften the fibres, so just by waiting a little bit you can get that back to normal and get a nice crisp punch. I love the bee punch because it doubles up as not only the body, the wings and antennae of a bee, but also 2 hearts and talking bubbles. So it's like 2 punches in one, so it's great value because of its versatility. Not only can you have the bee flying on the side, but you can make it look like he is facing the front if you stamp a punch as per usual. But when it comes to stamping the face, you'll stamp it so that it's looking straight up, and then you add 2 wings, one on either side. We've made it past the halfway mark. You're still watching, so you must like it. Please take a moment to like this video. I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you're not yet a subscriber. And I'd love you to share and also finally comment in the comments section. It would mean so much. Perhaps in the comments section you can share with us which bundle you prefer the most or what celebration item you have chosen. I invite you to head over to my website and click on shop. Then in the search button you can click on bundles, and there you'll see a whole lot of bundles available for purchase. Bundles basically are 2 matchy products or more, purchased at a 10% discount when using one product code. Alright, back to the bee. We've done most of the hard work. We're almost there to build the bee up and put together the card. And to pop him up with dimensionals. I'll be placing my dimensionals in the centre of the bee so that I'm able to tuck in the wings. Rather than have the 3-dimensional wings to step the card down, you could simply stamp the wings on the white cardstock. This will save you from doing one step, which is the punching. Now it's time to adhere the centre part of the card by popping them up with dimensionals. Off camera I've added the bling and I've used blue so that it matches up with the trail and the wings. Almost forgot about the antennae, so I'm stamping and punching that away and then sticking it behind the head of the bee. Remember when I showed you that the punch doubled up as hearts as well as wings and antennae? I'm going to demonstrate that right now. And here is an example where the bee body becomes a talking bubble. Let's quickly make out as though the bee is talking to us. I couldn't find the other stamped wing, so please excuse me for that, but you get the gist of how the bee can look and how he can speak to us as well. We're coming to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I've inspired you to try something new. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and happy crafting.